Hi guys, it's me again, and welcome back to God's Army. In this video, I'm going to talk about the role America has to play in the last days. Now, before I get into that, I want you to click the like button and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, so that when I drop a video, you will be notified. Now, guys, if you observe what is going on around the world, all the countries in the world are assembling themselves to take part in the beast system. As you know, America has been a world superpower now for hundreds of years, but just like all the kingdoms of the past, it will be replaced by an even greater one. In the past, all the great kingdoms were pagan kingdoms, but after the death of Jesus Christ, all the great kingdoms became Christian kingdoms. If you notice, in the past, you had Egypt, you had Babylon, you had Greece and Rome. All of these countries, they were pagan countries. But when Jesus died, the power and the wealth on the earth shifted over to the Christian kingdoms. All the kingdoms, great kingdoms came after the death of Jesus were Christian kingdoms. Rome converted to Christianity somewhat. We know that it was not perfect, but out of that came the Protestant churches. And those churches established countries that were Christian countries. Look at the flags of these countries: England, Sweden, and America. They had Christian foundations. These countries had Christian, their foundation was Christian kingdoms. The countries in Europe, they were Christian kingdoms. After the death of Jesus Christ, the greatest countries in the world were Christian. But in the last days, to fulfill the prophecy, the power and the influence on the earth is going to be shifted back into the hands of the unbelievers, the nations that don't believe in Jesus Christ. You already see this happening in the East with the Asians, the Chinese, the Indians. They're the manufacturing hub of the world. It was once America used to be the number one manufacturing country in the world, but not anymore. All of this has shifted over to China. Chinese, they don't believe in God. The Asians, only 1% of the people in these countries believe in Christianity, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. It doesn't look like the Bible said. Jesus says, I won't come back until all my word has been spread all over the earth. It doesn't mean that people are going to believe, all the people are going to believe. It just said the word is going to be spread all over the earth. So these Asians, they don't believe in God, but all the power, the money, the influence, it's shifting back over into the hands of the unbelievers. Now, Donald Trump, he says he's going to make America great again. But my friends, in the last days, the power of America is going to wane. It's not going to have much influence in the last days. This is so that the Antichrist can rise. And if he's going to rise, remember, I don't believe he's going to come from America. According to prophecy, it's going to come from the countries in the East. And so all the countries are going to play its part. Now, what about America? America has been going through some problems lately. It has been getting worse over the years. I'm sorry to say this, but American people, they are gonna go through some hard times. You Americans that are living in America, you're about to experience some very hard times. I think we're approaching the time of the tribulation. There are some Christian scholars who are saying that the tribulation has begun. We don't really know yet, but if you see what is happening, that might be so. I Americans Americans are similar to a frog in a boiling pot of water. You know that frogs are cold blooded. So if you throw them in a pan of hot water, they will jump out. The only way you can boil them is you have to put them in the cold water and then turn up the stove. While they're in the water, they're not going to jump out because their body temperature adjusts to the environment around them. So while the water is getting hot, they're not going to feel anything. They just start to boil. This is what I see is happening to Americans. They do not know what is really happening, but they're about to experience the worst time that has ever happened on the earth. I mean, the whole world, we're about to experience the worst time on earth, according to the book of Revelation. Now, as you know, the American dollar is in big trouble. A lot of Americans don't know this, but the American dollar is in big trouble because once upon a time, they used to be in agreement with Saudi Arabia. This agreement was called the Pedro dollar. In the 1970s, the president took the American dollar off of the gold standard and put it on oil so that anyone who was buying oil from Saudi Arabia would have to buy it in American dollars. Because of this, when the world was buying oil from Saudi Arabia, they have to buy the oil in American dollars. And what that did, it gave America so much power because they could print dollars on demand. They didn't have to really earn because of the oil, their money became so strong. In return, the Americans promised the Saudi Arabians that they would defend them, that if their enemies around them attack them, they would defend them. So this was called the Petrodollar Agreement. But I think it was last year they did not sign this agreement. So you know that the BRIC nations, China and the other nations, China, Russia, India, they have formed the BRIC nations. And what they are demanding is that they want their own dollar. They don't like the Americans influence around the world. Also, because of this, they are demanding their own dollar, and they want the Saudi Arabians to trade oil in a currency that is not the American currency. And that means that America could be in big trouble. And you know, they have not been manufacturing in America of late. All the manufacturing companies have left America and gone to China and India and these other countries. So America does not really manufacturing. They're still manufacturing, but not as much as the Chinese. And this is gonna put pressure on the American dollar. It's gonna put pressure on the Americans, right? Americans are gonna suffer. I'm telling you, you Americans, you are going to suffer because of this. Many of you don't know this, right? If the American dollar cannot release pressure, because the greatest export of America is American dollars. People buy in American dollar. American dollar is the greatest dollar in the world. And if it doesn't have oil to release all of this pressure on it, it is going to cause the American dollar to lose value, which is what is happening now. They say that the 90s was the last great decade in America. And this was mainly because in the year 2000, 2001, you know, we had the Twin Towers disaster, right? And after that, I mean, everything just started to get bad for America. After 9/11, everything started to go downhill. Now we have we have these disasters now, like the wildfires in LA, burning up people other homes. You know, we have had two plane crashes in the last recent days. Another one just crashed the other day. Again, why are these disasters happening? Well, we are getting close to the end, and I believe it's about what is about to happen there in Israel with the land in Israel. Donald Trump is over there. He's over there meddling, talking about he wants America to take control of the Gaza Strip. He had better be careful what he's doing, my friends, because the warning in the Bible in Joel 3 tells us that any country or any government that is responsible for dividing the land of Israel, God's land, is going to get the wrath of God. You know how God is. He will give you the most of everything, and then he will only want one small thing for himself. It was the same situation in the Garden of Eden. He gave Adam and Eve all the fruits in the garden, all the trees, everything in the garden, except for this one tree. He told them, you can eat from any tree in the garden. This was a big garden. But this one tree is my tree. You should not eat from it. And they did that. And look at what has happened to us. God has given us the earth to subdue it, all the minerals, all the wealth of the earth, all the wealth of the earth. You see how large the earth is. That land there is God's land. It's God's land. He has given us all the land on the earth, but that one land there is His land, and anyone who touches it, who divides it, is going to be in trouble with God. If Donald Trump takes part in doing this, I tell you, it is going to be very bad for America. Very bad for America. Yet better be careful what he's doing over there according to the prophecies in Revelation. You see what is going on there with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a part of I think his advisor to Donald Trump. Let me tell you, these people, they want to make it seem as if they are not working together, but they are. All the governments in the world, it's just these wars and these disagreements they are having, it's just an illusion. It's just an illusion because it's an illusion there. What is happening? They're trying to bring about a government that is a one world order type of situation. They not want, but they want to make it seem as if they're in conflict. But no, they are working together, my friend. All the people, all the governments, they are working together. America is playing its part. America is playing its part, my friend, working together to bring about the system that is prophesied in the Bible, in the book of Revelation there. So, my friends, as a Christian, I want you to read your Bible, and it's quite possible we are in the time the tribulation is possible. I've heard it said that the tribulation has begun. We don't know it for certain. And if that is so, then we ought to have our eyes open and be aware of what is going on. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, and I will let you know when I put out another one. All right?